Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It is not only Monday today. It is a military Monday on Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We are live inside the all-electric Lexus RZ450E, courtesy of North Park Lexus of San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion. And as the name would suggest, Military Monday, I like to find someone who served our country and put them here in the passenger seat and let them do their thing. And in this case, Missy Stagers is the military veteran. You served in the Navy.
Yes.
Once upon a time.
In the Navy.
In the Navy. Did you ever say that? Okay, I won't bore you with my village people impersonation right now. What do you want? I was just kind of saying you have your real estate empire that you run here in town and everything. And I've known you for a little while. But I don't know if I forgot or just didn't realize, your service in the military. And I'm not trying to age you or put you on the spot, but approximately when were you in the Navy?
1986 to 1990.
86 to 90. Was the decision when you went into the military, into the Navy, was that something that you knew was coming, or how did that happen, and what are your memories of that time when you went in?
I had decided to go into the military and the Navy because it was the one that had what I wanted available and open, because I wanted to travel the world.
Okay.
And I wanted to go into intel. I wanted to be a spy.
What? Wait a minute. Is this real estate thing a cover?
This real estate
really
thing a cover.
Double agent?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Her necklace is really a microphone. We're being, so you were in intelligence.
Yes.
So why? Like, what drew you to that, or how I know you probably can't tell me everything, or you'd have to kill me. but what drew you to that?
Huge fan of James Bond.
Ah.
I watched every single one of them.
I was going to say in the mid '80s. I don't know. Was it Timothy Dalton or who? I don't know who Bond was back in the day. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Timothy Dalton.
Roger
Moore.
Roger Moore. Yes.
Was the big one.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So yeah. So that drew you in, and
drew me in. Plus, they paid for college.
Well, that's one of the cool things about the military. I hear is you go all the education you want. Yes. Uncle Sam will take care of it.
Yes.
So, what can you tell me about your time in intelligence and what that was like when you're doing that in the Navy?
It was actually a very fascinating career field, and you learn a lot of things that you see going on in the world that nobody knows about.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's a fascinating process. You do learn that also you don't come home and talk about your day.
Not even to your significant other.
Not even to your significant other. Now I was lucky because, I ended up marrying somebody that was in the same field. So
okay, that's worked out.
We know what each other did, although we didn't talk about it. So, yeah.
It was implied. Now,
yes.
Were you, like, out in the field, undercover, or are you at a desk doing paperwork or both?
I was at a desk. So Bond didn't happen very well.
Dodging bullets and fast cars.
Dodging bullets. But I got to travel.
With your secret watch. And, okay. Well, but you got to travel. And you wanted to see the world.
Yeah,
and so,
I did.
Okay. So you were in the Navy for 4 years.
Yes.
And you brought some photos here. And I love all of this here because, I mean, how cute is that?
Yeah. Now I'm out of regs for then.
Yeah.
Today, not so much so, but my hair was touching my collar. And since it was a personal photo, I didn't care.
Okay. But the hair's on point. I mean, that's some good mid to late 80s hair.
Big hair.
That's pretty good. Okay. And you said you still have, this is your son, and you still have the outfit and everything?
I saved the outfit, and then we took a picture of his oldest son in the same outfit.
I love it. And speaking of the hair, you said this was there's like a little Marilyn Monroe.
That was a Marine Corps ball.
Right.
And Europe has the most amazing ball gowns. And
look at that thing.
I had a silver lame Marilyn Monroe type ball gown for the Marine Corps ball.
Very cool. Okay. Very good. So you're in for 4 years. You're kind of you're moving around all over the place.
Lived in Scotland. Went to a school in Pensacola.
Right.
And then first tour of duty was in Scotland.
Yeah.
So I spent 2 years there. Traveled all over Europe while I was there. Had a blast. And then came back to the States and ended up being in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay.
What they call the Great Dismal Swamp, because it is full of mosquitoes the size of my hand.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
And that's where I met my husband. And then ended up choosing to get out.
Right.
Because we got married.
Okay.
Because he was an officer and I was enlisted.
Here, hold on. Let's go
And
back.
that's called a no-no.
Okay.
Yep.
So you were telling me about this picture. This is your wedding day, obviously.
Yes.
And you said that your parents or your dad, who would normally give you away at your wedding, was not able to do that.
No, he was not. So we had all of our military friends there, and my senior chief, who I was really close with, gave me away. And so it was a pretty awesome wedding.
Okay. I bet it was. So you settled after you got out of the military. You were in what, San Diego, in California?
Went to San Diego while Rick was deployed in the Gulf.
Right.
And then after.
Is this like Desert Storm?
years.
This is like, right?
Correct.
Desert Shield, Desert
Correct.
Storm, 91-ish?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And then from San Diego moved here.
Right.
Yes.
And at what point did the real estate bug bite you and that came into your life?
I ended up being in real estate in San Diego. I went to work for this place down the road because I could not be a stay-at-home mom. Some people are great at it. I am not.
And you couldn't do intelligence.
No, and I couldn't do intelligence,
Right.
and I didn't know what I want to do, and we were going to be there a short time. So I found this part-time job that turned into a full-time job doing marketing for
Right.
agents at McMillan Realty, which turned up being a national builder at 1.2, being McMillan the Builder.
Right, right. Oh, goodness. And then that you went with marketing, and then you obviously, it just caught on.
It caught on, rolled into here.
And was it the military that was it your husband or brought you guys here?
Transferred him here, followed him. 2 days after getting here, called a temp agency because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grow up. And ended up having an interview at 11 and a job at 1, working for a national auction firm, doing all of their marketing for 6 months for a big commercial auction.
And when you say marketing, I mean, people got to realize this is pre-internet, right? Pre-social
Yes.
media. So that was
Yes.
like a different time for marketing.
Very different time, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after that, I'm like, okay, I keep hitting into this real estate gig. And that was it. I got my license.
And the rest is
and
history.
30 plus years later, the rest is history.
And but you've moved around, as you said. You've been all over the world, quite literally. But you have stayed. Is this the longest you've stayed in one place?
Both Rick and I
San
have
Antonio.
been here longer than we've been anywhere else. So this is home.
And
now.
that's it.
Yes.
And because you just you like the community and you like
Love the community. Yeah,
Yeah.
we loved it here. About 6 months after we moved here, we both looked at each other and go, I don't think we're ever moving back up north.
Yeah.
It's too cold. We love it.
yeah. How often do you reflect back on? Actually, we got to show off this medal. I was going to ask you about your military service and just kind of what the role that. Well, first of all, let's talk about this. What is this?
Yes, so that's a Navy Achievement Medal, and it's something I'm really proud of because I got it my second year when I was in the
Beautiful.
military. I got promoted ahead of schedule in boot camp, and then I ended up with the Navy Achievement Medal in 2 years.
So essentially, that's given. How does one earn that?
You have to be written up for it, and it has to be that you're doing an outstanding job.
There you go.
So there we go.
I'm not surprised that you got that then. So how often do you think back on your military service and just kind of the role it played in a little chapter of your life and what you
I
got to
loved
do?
it.
You did.
Absolutely loved it.
Would you have stayed longer if you could
I
have?
would have, yes. Had Rick and I not got married, and because of our circumstances, I chose to get out, I would have stayed. Most people look at me and go, you managed to stay in the military? Because I'm not rigid, but I am. I'm very good at structure, and I'm very good at team and so forth. And I had an amazing time. Amazing people, an amazing time. And in some references, I still got to stay in the military because Rick stayed in and retired. So I still got that dose of military without being in.
Indeed, indeed. And then you brought a trophy here, which is. Wait a minute, why are you laughing already?
Because most people don't know this about me.
I certainly didn't. And respectfully, it's got a little dust on it. So this trophy has been around for a little while. I hadn't seen this. Mm-hmm. So it says SFBB East of Scotland Championships 1988. Care to tell me what you won this for?
Bodybuilding competition.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just saying I had no idea.
I know. It's one of my fond memories. That's the one thing that I loved in the military is because I worked out all the time.
As in, like, bodybuilding, like
yeah, go
flexing and all. And all the pictures of that have been destroyed.
Yes. I just kept the trophy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I had no idea that you were a bodybuilder, and gosh, I learn something new every day. But real estate, I mean, you would quite literally have found your home and everything. And I think, I think everybody would agree that soon after you became, got into it full time, I mean, you took off, you started accumulating a lot of awards and ranking high on a lot of lists and everything. Why do you think you were able to do so well, especially early on?
That I will say, I will go back and tribute to my time in the military.
Yeah.
When you're young, you don't necessarily know what you want to do. You're not as structured. There are some people that are young and extremely structured.
Yeah.
And for me, the military taught me teamwork, taught me chain of command, taught me structure, responsibility, and all of those things. And you worked hard and you played hard. And I think a lot of that is what helped me coming out of the military and then getting into business.
Yeah. And you continue to grow it and everything. You obviously run your team. And we're here in front of your office right now, which you've been in. It's M. Stagers Realty Partners, by the way, I should mention. And the website is mstagersrealtypartners.com. How would you describe to somebody who doesn't understand? Like, what happens here? What do you do now?
So I still run a team and a brokerage. So we work with clients every day that want to buy or sell. We cover residential. My husband now works underneath my name brand with me, and he does commercial. And then we opened up property management, places and spaces leasing a year ago. And so we cover every aspect of real estate that there is.
So it says you and your team have sold over 4,200 residential properties and over $860 million in sales.
Just a little bit of experience.
And a little bit of success. I mean, that is because, and let's face it, there are a lot of realtors and a lot of players in San Antonio, obviously, but you've been able to maintain a pretty high level of success.
And maintain is the key word.
That's ups and downs of the real estate market and the economy and everything. I mean, doesn't it drive you nuts sometimes?
Oh, yes, it drives me nuts.
But
like
so
today
calm.
Drives me nuts with the current, what we call fake news that you see hitting the market on all these things about, all of a sudden that, buyer's agents aren't getting paid anymore and the buyer's going to pay the commission. And it's like, just take a breath and know that's not true. Right. So it's an interesting career field.
So many, like I said, so many realtors out there, and I think by and large they're all, the majority of them are good people. Of course, you have some sour apples out there, but as somebody is looking to purchase or sell a property, what should they look for in somebody that's going to take that on as a realtor or a broker?
I think, and I'll speak specifically to military here because they're near and dear to my heart. It's very important when you're a military member to assess what is your goal while you're there and how soon are you going to move, and make wise choices based on that, because you don't want to be stuck with the house.
That's true.
Many military have made a lot of money in life by owning and renting out their house. They're not attached to it as it's their forever home, but they make good financial decisions when they buy them. And that's because they do assess what is the ultimate goal here.
Right.
And then they make the decision based on proper financial decision, not I need a new home, which may not sell in 3 years when you rotate. Not a good idea type of thing. And so it's really important for military to have a good consultation and a lot of questions asked so that they can make a great decision and not get stuck.
Very good. Indeed, things that I wouldn't have thought of, but very well spoken. When you mentioned, how you look back on your time, when you left the military, did you have a hard time adjusting to civilian life and getting out of that? And
I'm still regimented, so that's I still get up early. I would say no. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I miss the camaraderie sometimes.
You do.
The friends, it's a different way of life. People that are in the military because, you're trained for a mission.
Right.
And those type of things. And sometimes you're separated or isolated from other things.
Right.
You deal with things that a lot of people don't deal with. Like you move all the time. Your kids have to change schools. You're introduced to new places. And that can be somewhat addicting too, because sometimes you get to some place or when you finally get out, you're like, got the itch. It's time to move. So yes. But besides that, transferring out into real life, I will go back and make this statement. The regular sector of work is very different than military.
Okay.
And so there is some transition in that for how you work with people, because on the outside, they don't necessarily follow a chain of command real well.
Yeah.
So
no, I hear you. I get where that would be different. Yeah. So what do you do for fun? What do you do to unwind when you're not, working the phones or trying to close a deal or
read, work out still.
Okay.
I still work out. And then garden. I have a huge, massive garden. I just put in a water system for it, rain capture, everything else. So those are my fun things. And my grandkids.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah. I mean, I can't grow anything to save my life, so I'm going to need you have to tell me what the trick is. Because I've killed so many fruits and vegetables that I've tried to grow and everything.
Well, soil number one, and water is the second formula.
Got to be persistent. Very good, very good. A few more minutes here with Missy Stagers, M. Stagers Realty Partners. mstagersrealtypartners.com is the website. Why do you enjoy real estate, this line of work? What do you enjoy about it so much?
I think if I were to encapsulate what real estate is for me, it was owning my own business.
Right.
I set my own work patterns, my hours. Marketing, which I absolutely love, and it fed that creativity in me. And then people. And people can be fun and they can be draining. But it is really satisfying knowing that you've helped somebody with great financial decisions. The most money most people ever spend in their life.
Yes.
And you get to know people, the intimate side of people, at least in residential. And that's the fun part about residential. And they become lifelong members of your family in a lot of ways because you know their kids, you know everything, and that's what I love.
And you might have sold somebody a house 15, 20 years ago, and you will still maintain connection, which is not easy to do.
No, not easy to do.
Yeah.
Correct.
Coolest place you've ever been with your military experience, or just like all the times you moved around, was there a place on earth that maybe unexpectedly was really cool for you?
I think if I tell you the coolest thing I ever got to do in the military was one, I got to go on a night op flight.
Oh.
That was pretty cool.
Okay.
That was actually very cool. And then we got to practice some real life maneuvers and what you do in those type of scenarios. And that's actually very exciting. Most people don't ever get to do those type of things, but
yeah, no kidding.
It's pretty exciting. And then other than that, I lived in Scotland and got to travel, of course, in Europe. But Scotland is an amazing, beautiful place. Go there May through July.
Right.
Because the sun stays up until way late.
Wow.
And it's warm.
Okay.
And I say warm because 65, 70 is a heat wave there. I used to put tin foil out and lay on it and go, sunshine! I really did.
Well, you had to maintain your tan,
That's
right?
Because otherwise I was pasty white.
Bodybuilding and everything. I guess finally what I wanted to ask you, just because it is Military Monday, and maybe as a public service announcement to our military friends out there, any specific advice or benefits as it relates to purchasing properties and stuff like that are unique to the military that you would want that community to know about?
Yes, actually, and this is something that I experienced when I came here and purchased a home, and I was not in real estate yet, and I didn't know about it, and it would have been really important for me to have known about it. So you have your VA loan, but besides that, you can get an equity loan through your VA too.
Okay.
So like if a home improvement loan, I won't say equity loan, home improvement loan.
Okay.
So when I bought my house, we used my VA instead of my husband's, and we put, within less than 30 days, we put all brand new windows in. And had I known that I could have rolled that into a home improvement loan through the VA, it would have been priceless. So most people do not know that, and I think it's important to know.
Exactly.
And then, more importantly, know your benefits, as well as wherever you're buying. Now, Texas is wonderful because if you have disability, you have tax breaks. And if you have 100%, a lot of people don't know that when they move here, you, of course, don't pay property taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, these are things I would never know, but spoken from someone who served. And one more time, I just want to show off this. There it is. You still got it, though. You still got it.
My hair's quite not quite as puffy.
Still. You could have been a Bond girl.
Yeah.
You know, back. I mean, seriously. Look at that. I will just full disclosure. I mean, you and I have known each other for a while, and I'm so thrilled to watch your trajectory and what you've been able to do. I know you give back to the community, and you've done a lot of cool things over the years, and relationships are very important to you. So, and I know you've got to get back on the phones and make more stuff happen. So
I have to go back to work.
Thank you, and thank you for teaching me about some things I didn't even know about you. It's fascinating stuff. And of course, thank you for your military service.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. And with that, we'll close out another Military Monday episode of Pickup Lines, presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We'll be back again very soon with another episode right here. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Go Navy!